Hello everyone, welcome back to the podcast. This is Mo and
Taiwo, TDawg.
TDawg, yeah. And today we have a special episode for you. It will be featuring a lot of history. Behind the scene, you can see how we have a wonderful producer slash Buriwale slash, coordinator, IB, Taiwo's niece.
Hi
And she's
everyone.
helping a lot. There's a glamorous setup. It takes a lot to do video, but I have the honor of bringing TDawg back on the podcast, back by popular demand, and we hope this episode is enriching. Ibuku will also be asking a question, so let's do it. Yes, we're ready. Oh yeah, let's start with an icebreaker. I think a fun icebreaker. Oh wait, let me think. Oh yeah, I changed my name recently, right?
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, I officially changed my name. I probably need to do a separate podcast episode on that. I think I'm gonna bring my friend Bingwei because I have some things to say. And you keep asking me why I did it. I don't know the reason why I did it. I really still question why because I'm going through like a second wave of identity crisis right now. But yeah, I'm now formerly known as Ogunsai. I'm not addicted. But oh God,
Woohoo!
there's times I wish I was Korean because they don't change their last names. But yeah, how do you feel about that?
I mean,
Are you not happy?
I think you're privileged to finally be bearing my
Get your
name.
hands off me.
Okay,
This is why you don't
you've
do
been
it.
the only one, odd one out. Arife has been bearing my name for the past 4 years, so you finally get to join the company.
Hands
Good
up.
company, good
Hands,
company.
hands up, hands up.
Yeah, not ordinary people bearing.
For
my
women
name.
holding on to their names, please, this is why you keep your name, okay? This is exactly why. And then yesterday I realized that when you tell jokes, especially the jokes that really make me laugh, I like it. Like, you remember how you made me laugh
Oh
yesterday?
yeah, you laughed for almost more than a minute. I was like, wow, okay. All
You
right.
should do more of that. It's a good turn. So you said something. You're like, what's the term for this? And it was a palindrome. And that was like, your English is quite good. I looked at him like, excuse you. And then he reminded me of my past when I was in high school. My WIAC, which is like your equivalent of a SAT, ACT. I did quite well. I had a C in English, okay? And then that was like, like, what did you even score in WIAC? I was like, I was 6, like, no wonder, 6, right? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, C6 is the lowest of the C's.
And then he goes like, what did you get in Yoruba? I had an A1 in Yoruba.
I knew she had an A1. And I was like,
And
you
it
had
was
an
so
A1,
spot on.
A1 in
And
food
food
and
and
nutrition too, right? Foodie.
And it was so spot on. I was just laughing. Like, my body was vibrating. I like this kind of jokes, like the dark humor, self-deprecating humor, but careful with that, okay? But anyways, all that to say, keep making me laugh more. It's a good turnaround, right? Like, just a tip out there. All right, I think we'll go to the ice-breaking question. So, welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you here.
Thanks.
All right, welcome to the both of you. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is reflecting on the party.
Oh. So he turned 40 this month of May, right? And okay, just in your words, how has it been for you and how was the party?
I mean, the month of May has been kind of surreal. I guess I've been working. I was working for like, I think total of like maybe
30 something?
36, 7 days with just 3 days off in between. So I've not really had time to really soak it in, like to really, ruminate on the past decade. I still remember when I turned 30, it was at Dave's and Buster's. We were in Austin then. We had a great time with some friends, just had fun then, but, you had asked me what I wanted to do. I was like, yeah, it would be nice to just have people around. I love people, and you do too. So I was like, yeah, what better way than to, just have our friends and family come celebrate with us. And, we didn't know it was going to be something as big and robust as this. And
I find it shocking you keep saying that. Dude, you literally gave me a long list, full scrap paper, 2, with names. And you kept adding more names to it. And saying, telling me I didn't know it was going to be that big.
Well,
Where did the names come from?
well, okay.
Wait till Musa no go see forget.
So, in my mind, I was like, oh, our wedding in Nigeria, we had probably easily 1,000 people, right? More than 1,000 people.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, it's just a big, 200 people is not going to be a big deal. I had no clue this was like going to be in America and, was going to be extremely expensive and, was a lot went into it.
Yeah.
And, my mind was blown, the level of planning, the execution, attention to detail, even to the tiniest of things as the stirrer for the drinks being branded my name.
You keep saying that. You really like that?
Yeah, I mean,
It moved you.
everything was perfect to perfection.
Yeah.
And I've not heard one person that came to the party that did not have a blast. And they kept thanking us for inviting them. So I thought that was kudos to your excellent party planning skills, and I'll pay in kind of.
I don't got the no. I'm not incorruptible.
But yeah, I had a blast. Like, it was the time of my life. I wished my twin brother was here to celebrate with me that day, but it's all good. Would do another one together.
You do 50th together.
Yes, amen. And I want to say that kudos to you too, because I'm happy you had so much fun. I could just see that college student come out in you. Especially when you're like boys, you guys were on the dance floor doing gong, and your girls doing gong, so it was like, this style from college days. Like, so shout out to all the friends and families who came to celebrate. It was really good, and I think we just threw a party that we wanted to attend, because being here in the US is so encumbered with so many things, bills, responsibilities. People don't even have time to even hang out. And if you're a parent, like, forget about it. Where's the time? So I'm glad everything worked out. People came from we had a friend come all the way from the UK.
Yeah,
shout out to Mr. Kenny. I mean, that was just touching. Yeah.
Kwale.
Yes. And then friends from all over the US coming to Oklahoma. So thank you guys. You made our day, and he was especially happy. And I'm like, okay, thank God. Everybody went back home safely. We had a tornado threat, but of course, Oklahoma style, man. But God kept us, and for those who lost anything or anybody, sending prayers and thoughts. All right. So yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
I'm still reliving it.
Yeah.
And thanks to Ibukuntu for helping with planning. And your mom as well. Shout out to Mrs. Odimayo. Actionable mama.
All right, thank you for sharing that, Uncle T. So the next thing on the list is, as you reach the milestone of 40 years, what are some of the most significant achievements and challenges you reflect on?
Oh, these are loaded.
Yeah. Take a deep breath before you pour it out, because 40 is like a lot of wisdom. So let's have it.
So achievement and what?
And challenges that you reflect on.
Achievements. Well, I don't know. I'm not one to really, say, okay, I've achieved anything per se, but I mean,
Angel, come and slap your face now.
But there are many, memorable things that have occurred in this past decade. Let me just think back on that. I know since getting into my 30s, I got into residency training, which was a dream I always wanted to achieve, and thank God he made that possible. And then graduated residency. I served as a chief resident, with Diana Escobedo. Shout out to her. We did an amazing job, and did what other folks had not done then, and it was just a blast. Even amid the drama that happened then, but and then what other achievements? One really big one was me getting invited to set the standard for the American Board of Family Medicine.
Wow.
Based on my performance on the professional certification exams. So that was quite an honor. Becoming a father to Arife was also a major achievement. And let's see, what else has happened?
Masters.
My masters. My masters in Public Health and Epidemiology. Yeah, that was one.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure there are many other
The
things.
the first proper job in the US, not flipping burgers.
Oh yeah, that's
No
true.
shade to flipping burgers.
Oh, it's fine. I didn't flip. Well, technically, I didn't flip burgers. I just, I was working money. I always, my favorite, job is to make money, right? Whichever way or means necessary. But I was just a cashier. I was just collecting money and.
It means legal stuff, by the way.
But that was when I was in, doing my master's degree, working and doing concessions. But those were humble beginnings. It made me really value what I have now, and just thank God for where I am now and where He brought me from. So.
Your what?
Your new country.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you, Bukum, from behind the scenes, for that
Such
reminder. Yes,
Hot
for
tip.
those that might not know, some of my Lasusis friends might remember this, but for the longest time, I felt like, oh,
He was not
I wasn't an illegal immigrant. I entered the country legally, right? I entered legally.
on an Esther.
I entered the country legally, and yeah, I just had a little bit of challenges on the way.
A little.
I was so special that they actually didn't get me into the US with a visa, right?
It wasn't a waiver.
You know, I got in with a visa waiver, which is not typical for
That's why it's asking to leave the country.
for Nigerian citizens. It was not due to any fault of
I'm so
mine. It
sorry.
was the US
We can laugh
government.
about it
But I'm glad they fixed their error, and I was finally able to achieve, get my green card, thanks to my sugar mommy in that regard.
Pay up.
In 2018, and then I think to cap the top of the achievements this year, I think in March
5th.
No, it wasn't. Was it
March
5th?
5th, honey. I was in.
I thought it was March 20th.
March 5th. I was
Sometime
in
in
Albuquerque.
March.
Okay.
March 5th.
If
I
you
was
said
in
it's 5th,
Albuquerque.
then it's 5th.
100%. I was in Albuquerque because I remember I was on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So March 5th, I finally swore an oath to become a citizen of the United States. That was one of my proudest moments. So yeah, that was an amazing
And then he
time.
got his blue passport.
It
Blue
gets
passport.
it.
Now I can travel to most countries without needing a visa,
Yeah.
and I can't be deported
Finally.
anymore.
That was the blue.
I wasn't at risk of deportation
Yes.
anyway because I entered legally and
Yeah.
I maintained my lawful status. So anyway,
Yeah, that's a long journey. You
Yeah.
should we talked that episode about the visa issues we had, and oh my gosh, like just thank God, it's all over now.
yeah, and I think that falls in the category of challenges. You said.
Yeah.
The visa issues, and then trying to get into residency was also a major one. Yeah, it took me 3 times, and yeah, it's been those times, taught me a lot about myself. That I'm not someone that gives up pretty easily. I go for what I want despite the odds, and with God by my side, I believe that nothing is impossible.
Yeah.
And I've tried to instill this with my friends as well, those that know me.
Shout out to you. Yeah.
And then what else? What was a major challenge?
Your dad.
Oh yeah, that was it wasn't really a challenge, but it was a
Your dad,
painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a painful one. Bless my dad's soul. Yeah, I still miss him to today. He was an amazing dad. He instilled in me, hard work, dedication. The desire to be the best. For myself, me competing with myself, not other people. Although he tried to compare me with other people, my
With a twin,
grandparents would be.
mostly?
Well, yeah, my twin, yeah, maybe a little bit, but
Seven.
it was always like, oh, why were you 8? What happened to the first? Did
7
they have
periods.
2 heads?
I know.
So
Shout out to
he-
Nigerian parents, traumatizing one after another.
Yeah.
Continue. Aluta.
yeah. I still have many fond memories of him, growing up. So yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. We're going to go over this one real quick. When you were young, you likely envisioned a certain future. Is this the future you imagined as a child? If not, what did your younger self plan for a future?
So as a young child, I remember myself, my twin brother, and I still told him this when I did a tribute to him on his birthday, since he's in the UK. We were still young then. I didn't even know I was going to be a doctor then. I think I always wanted to be a preacher and a farmer or something, and then he always wanted to be an architect. But I think, as kids, we wanted to, he was going to design our house, it was going to be connected to each other, we'll live next to each other, all that stuff. And for some reason, that's, remained etched in my mind. A part of me still longs for, us to live side by side. I just wish that would really come to reality. Hopefully, they have a change of heart, and don't get scared of
Guns.
the gun culture in America.
Yeah, don't worry about your own gun.
Yeah.
Monogram it.
We'll make sure you're armed.
We don't even own guns.
Yeah, we don't own guns, and
But
we're
we
safe.
shot them, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, so please come to America. Let's make my childhood.
America
dream a
welcomes
reality.
you.
Yeah, we'll have good times here. Trust me.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So, how do you feel about aging in general? Has your perspective on growing older changed over the years?
Uh, Not really. I think it's something I've not really thought of. It's just something that time just passes and you naturally grow old. Everybody grows old, right? So it's all relative. People that you knew growing up are growing older. You're growing older. Those that are younger than you are growing older. So it's just all relative to me. I feel like eventually we'll you know father time catches up. But you do the best you can to slow the process, be
Yeah.
active, sleep well, try
It's
to get 8 hours a day, hint, hint. Um, and then, those are some of the things that actually make me not seem like I'm 40. Like people feel like I'm like in my 20s, or early 30s. Yeah, for real. When I tell some of my friends, you're like, oh, how old are you? And other
Some
than
of the patients.
a few strands of white
A
hair
few
is
strands.
the only thing that might give it away. But
But your genetics,
you know,
even your
um,
patients always think
yeah,
you're a
yeah,
doctor.
and I don't worry about stuff. Things that are beyond your control. I try not to worry about it. Just commit it to God in prayer and do the best you can. And then just be young or hard, exercise, and eat right
And travel too.
and travel. Indulge sometimes in what you want. That's not healthy too. And yeah,
Yeah,
Do you
that's
have anything that is not healthy that you like?
yeah.
Like what? You
Like,
want what's that?
like alcohol sometimes,
Alcohol. I'm
chocolates,
talking about a capful, by the way.
chocolates,
one,
Chocolate is not
one
unhealthy.
teaspoon morning and night.
cakes,
I will fight you. Chocolate
you
is not
know,
unhealthy.
just little doses of that. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay,
This is the hill I would die on. Chocolates are good for your heart.
I know.
dark chocolates in
Like
small
that Arife
quantities.
say, good for my bones. So good.
Okay, Uncle, thank you for sharing that. I know you just turned 40, and regardless, we're still gonna ask, what advice would you give someone about turning 40 based on your own
It's
experiences?
just been 3 weeks already.
I know that's 3 weeks of
I know.
experience.
I'm 40 years and how many?
Years of
And
experience.
40 years and 17 days
Yes.
Yeah, those
and
17 days
13
carry
hours.
value.
Yeah.
But
Share.
anyway, yeah, advice to give those that are in the 40s. Yeah, I think I mentioned that in my last statement, that remain young at heart, exercise well. Trust me. I try to practice what I preach. Diet and lifestyle changes do a lot. You might have bad genetics, but if you do exercise and try to eat right, you can fix a lot of stuff just by eating right and having a healthy lifestyle. By being physically active. So that's one major thing I would advise you to do. And then start preparing for retirement. Don't wait until you're in your late 40s, 50s before you start thinking of when you're going to retire. Things like that. Oh, by the way, I don't think I want to fully retire. I'm going to keep working. Even if it means working a week a month. To just keep this brain sharp. And yeah, and try to find hobbies, things you enjoy. To do
Pickleball.
do the like pickleball, yeah, and travel and just help the community do other things, to help other people out and stuff like that. Therapy.
Mm.
What about therapy?
Is that the tip you want to put in there?
Oh yeah, I was cajoled, or no, not cajoled.
Strong armed.
Strong armed into doing
Call
therapy.
it out to food.
I mean, I told her at some point that I think I felt like I could actually be in the therapist to the therapist.
This is why he needed therapy.
No, and the therapist even was like, we might even be done with therapy, and I'm like, she's like, no, you're not
I'm
done
doing a sit
until.
down with that. Where's that
She's
therapist?
like,
Where's another
you're
one?
not done until I say so. I'm like, maybe you need to talk to your therapist about that.
But yeah, therapy good. Everybody.
Therapy was helpful. I mean, just having someone to talk to. It gave some tiny nuggets, yeah, for me to, ruminate on and try to live by. So that helped.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, that sounds good. You're looking really great for 40, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I wouldn't think you are in your 20s, but
Able.
so the next thing on the list.
Getting paid for this compliment.
So the next thing on the list, how do you balance society's expectations with your current goals and aspirations?
Society's
So I don't
expectations.
think the things about society expectations.
I don't think the society really expect much of me per se. I mean,
Ouch, on behalf of society.
I know.
Ouch.
Like, what's society expecting from me? Like, okay,
At 40, I don't know. What do they usually for women at 25 they'll say get married and all that. But for you, do you have any pressure?
no, what
It doesn't. It
pressure?
never feels pressure. It puts himself under immense pressure already.
Yeah, I don't think I have any expectations from, or the society has expectations of me.
Sorry, society.
You
So-
know, but maybe I'm the one trying to.
Yeah,
give
you are
back.
the society. The society is you.
Mm.
Okay. Well, that's good. So, looking ahead, what are some of your dreams and ambitions for your 40s and beyond?
Dreams and ambitions. Yeah, I tell some of my, family and friends, that don't wait until you're retired or in your 60s, 70s before you start trying to live life, travel, vacation, and stuff like that. I'm already living my dream. I'm living in the present. Um, I'm doing things I enjoy, things I'm going to be doing when I'm retired. I'm already doing. I'm setting myself up. Yeah, I work hard. I play hard. I vacation. I exercise. I do fun things. I do things I enjoy doing already. A big part of my dreams and aspirations are probably to retire early. Um, I believe in that fire movement. Financial independence and retire early. I like that. So maybe eventually, I don't think the time is now, but maybe I'll transition to maybe working a week a month, you know, um, and create my own schedule. That way, I can have 3 weeks in a month to do things I really enjoy, like travel, be there for family, enjoy my hobbies, be able to give back to society, like by volunteering, and doing things that could benefit society. Maybe go on mission trips, things like that. So those are some of my dreams and aspirations, really, to have more time to do things I enjoy, and not because I have to work to make a living.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. We'll think about that as we're growing older too. Okay, so next question. Have you experienced any form of midlife crisis? If not, what is your secret and do you think that you are a late bloomer?
Late Duma.
Puma.
Actually, Duma. I really don't worry. Yeah, that was Taiwo. Thanks for I really actually asked that question. I wanted to know.
Do I feel like I've experienced any midlife crisis?
Yeah, if you haven't,
To be honest, I still don't get that concept of midlife crisis.
that's sudden. Like my God, now in my life. I'm 40 now.
No,
Which
That's
way,
true.
oh Lord?
I feel blessed. I
What's
mean,
your secret?
I've lived so far a full life. No regrets.
Why you sound like about to go?
No.
Calm
go
down
where?
with the
Go where?
summary, I beg. So you live the full life. Which full life have you lived?
Yeah, you brought me to the podcast. I'm telling you.
Which full life? There's two more in that jar.
I know there's more in the jar, but I'm saying that you need to live life to the fullest every day.
Every day, yeah. It's not-
Live in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've lived a good life, and I'm living a good life, and I want to hopefully continue living a good life. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I'm doing what I envisioned I was going to be doing. I'm exactly where I believe God has prepared for me to be. So I'm thankful and grateful. I'm just walking in that consciousness, really.
That's great. Thanks. So, what are your thoughts on the issue of men not maintaining friendships as they age and how this contributes to the pandemic of loneliness?
The story that came out by the New York Times that men are so lonely, like male friendships are not quite as well cohesive as female friendship, and the older they get, the more lonely they become. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that might be true to some extent. I remember my dad, in his later years, I don't think he had that many friends. I was gone from home for a long time, but maybe he had a few, but yeah, guys, I think the way we're wired, we still have friends. I still have, some friends, some from, college, some from high school, that I keep in touch with, here and there, touch base here and there. Um, I don't have, I won't say I have many friends that I keep in touch with, like pretty frequently, but I could see how that's possible. But I think a solution to that, is, just trying to be intentional. For one, I like, reaching out to people and, just checking in on people and And this is to you friends out there. Don't leave it to only me to be trying to check in on you. Eh? Try to reach out to also keep the friendship. Friendship is two ways, right? So it takes two to tango.
Another option is to travel together.
Oh yeah. So yeah, and that's one thing that my wife has also been trying to do. We had Chiedu. He also came to my party with his wife.
That's a
Tata.
dinosaur.
So yeah, some of my friends from my residency training, Diana, shout out, and Minerva. We're planning on going on
Hawaii next
to
year.
Hawaii together next
Been to
year, and
Mexico
then went
together.
to
Cancun.
Hawaii. Was it last year or 2 years ago
Yeah,
with
with Emilia and Miss Park.
Emilia, also
That's
from my
right.
residency. Yeah.
And then BC, Tokumo.
Yeah, BC. So yeah, going on
Shanghai,
vacations are good
cruises,
ways to kind of keep
Joanna.
in contact with your friends, cruises and stuff. And I think my wife just posted a cruise. So here, you guys, let's keep in touch. Let's get on the cruise together, have fun,
It's
have
hard.
a good time.
It's hard maintaining friendship, especially in this part of the world. And because a lot of us have left home, the way the American system is, man, you're just working. By the time you get home, it's like, which friend?
Right.
Yeah,
And most people have busy lives, busy jobs,
You shouldn't do life
families.
alone.
They have to take care of. So just being intentional and creating that time, is a good idea. So.
All right. So keep that in mind. So the next segment is on losing dad. So the first thing on this list is, what was your relationship with your dad like before he passed away?
Yeah, my relationship with my dad, I mean, I have very fond memories, like I said earlier. Growing up, I remember when he was teaching myself and my twin brother, the multiplication table, we'll go to his, office, when we were on vacation. And, when we were on vacation, after school, we'll prepare, like go through all the textbooks before the next, term starts. So we already know what's up, right? So that was my dad. He always prepared us, for the next step. So I guess that's where I got my proactiveness from. But my relationship with my dad was pretty good. Growing up, had a lot of fun memories. Me and my twin brother go with him to the farm in Ota in Ogun State. We would harvest. We had some land there. We'd harvest corn, peppers, roast corn together on the farm. Stop by on the way. I was underage then. Dad, I'm sorry, but yeah, I have to say this. We'll stop by for some fresh palm wine.
Explains a lot.
So we had good times together, and then we'll come home, drive home. Yeah, he always invited me to desire to be the best version of myself I could be. So he was a good man. He cared. He was very quiet and a man of very few words. I remember my twin brother too. He would call us by whistling our names. Kende, Taiwo, things like that. So in his own little way, and growing up too, he would teach us some proverbs. I remember one he taught us, Asare tete onikoja ile aribere onisunsono. That means that whoever is racing so fast, you not race past your house, and whoever drives so slow, you won't sleep on the road. You eventually get to your destination. Meaning that drive safe, don't be in a rush. Things like that. So I learned a few proverbs from him too. Yeah. So.
I miss his sense of humor and his laugh.
Yeah, he had an infectious laughter. Yeah.
I think she came in kind of laughs like him, but yeah.
Yeah. So there were just a few of
face
memories.
just lights up when you laugh.
Can you share your initial emotions and thoughts you experienced when you first heard about your father's passing?
Oh yeah, I remember that day vividly. I was on call from 7 o'clock that morning, and I got a video call on WhatsApp. I think around, was it 4:15 a.m. I was like, oh my god, like what's going on?
10 a.m. ish in Nigeria then.
Yeah, and I took the call, and my sister Stafanola, said, Taye, Daddy has gone to be with the Lord. I'm like, I'm sorry, what are you talking about? I was like, hold on, what's going on? And she was like, yeah, that is fast. And in the video call, I saw him in, the body bag. Um, yeah, he just did something to me. I was like, no. And then I just broke down. I was like, no, no, this is not possible. Like, I'm like, what happened? Like, yeah, so it was like something died in me, especially when I eventually we buried him, and he got lowered into the grave, and my mom, immediately burst out in deep tears and weeping, and I just couldn't help myself too, and just burst out, in tears, like as if a part of me just died, with him when he got lowered into the grave. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. I'm doing better now. I still have fond memories of him. You know, just yeah. I just think on the good times and good memories. So
May his soul rest in peace.
amen.
How has the loss of your father impacted your daily life and routines? Do you ever have moments when you pause and are faced by the fact that you cannot speak to him anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I think for at least probably a year after he passed, I think I noticed at work that I was more irritable. I was more impatient with people. Just thinking back now, I think looking back, I was still in the anger. I was still probably grieving, maybe. Um, but I think I've processed that now. I'm at peace, and I know he's smiling down on us, and he's happy, and he's proud of us, and all that we've accomplished and stuff. And he's, you know, so yeah, it's not really affected my daily life per se. We've been gone from Nigeria for a couple of years, more than 10 years before he passed, and that absence and distance, didn't really make it seem like I had missed him that much. Like he was available by phone whenever I called my mom. I'll talk to him and he'll say a prayer. You know, I just miss being able to like just call him and him saying that don't worry, there'll be no problems. Just bankia well. At somewhere. Just things like that. But yeah, I think I'm done past I've gone past the grieving phase now, and I'm good. It's not really affecting my daily life anymore.
By the way, that means say me hi to your wife and your child for a non-Yoruba speaking audience.
Okay, thank you. So, what are some of the valuable lessons your father taught you that you hold on to dearly?
Oh yeah, do not worry about anything. you know, do not worry about anything. That prayer and supplication, make your request known to God. Um, yeah, that was one major thing I learned from him. And then another thing I learned from my dad was to smile. He smiled a lot. I tried to smile. Um, and what else? I learned to, be the best I could be for myself. Not comparing myself to other people, but just striving to be better. You know, just keep raising that standard. And therapy has helped me.
Why are you looking at me? I'm not his therapist, by the way.
Therapy has helped me
Say louder for those at the back.
to give people grace. To not expect them to be at the standard I've set for myself. Although I wish they could be at that standard.
This is why he's still in more therapy.
But
It should take tolerance.
But I've learned to be gracious and to give grace to people, especially at work. But I feel like you're dealing with lives, right? You can't take it back once a life is lost.
I think the first part of the message was really
okay. Yeah. let's leave it at that.
Okay, so aside therapy, have any particular methods or support systems like people, thoughts, or memories helped you get through this phase?
What phase?
Loss. Losing dad.
Oh yeah, I remember talking to my boss at work, Bolaji Olade. Shout out to you. He lost his dad like maybe a year prior or so. Also a painful experience for him, and he shared his experience and how he's coping with it. And he actually told me, because I had a vacation in Cancun like the next month after my dad passed, and he was like, you just go, just take your mind off it, and just talking to my siblings and my mom, just sharing those memories and just reliving them, has helped us to just accept what has happened and just enjoy the memories and stuff. Um, I feel like I'm missing a part of the question. What's the other part of the
I
question?
think you mentioned the
That,
support
yeah, what
systems mechanism
memories help you through
that
this
helps
phase?
you through things.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Just you know, keeping his memory alive. You know, yeah, I think that has helped. Discussing my friend, my family, and my mom. Yeah, has helped a lot.
Okay. I know you've answered this question before, but I want to actually add a little bit of sprinkle. So, as a doctor, in your day to day activity, you have at some point experienced losing a patient. So, in your own reality, in what way would you say the loss of your dad influenced your perspective on life, relationships with families and friends?
That's a loaded question.
Good question.
How has my perspective on my
So as a doctor, like you've lost your patients have lost,
mm-hmm.
and you've lost patients as well. But now grief came to your doorstep and losing your dad. How do you think that has shaped your perspective in your practice as well? Right?
uh, yeah, I think that has I deal with yeah, I deal with a lot of loss, especially during COVID. Thank God those days are gone, those dark days are gone. But now I think am more. I've always been empathetic, but now that I've experienced grief on a personal level, I I now have what it takes to talk to families that have a loved one that's dying. Especially when the outlook is really poor and the prognosis is poor. I tell them that, hey, I get it. I lost my dad. I know how it feels. I know you want your loved ones here with you for as long as you can. But unfortunately, this and this and this, the outlook is really bad. You don't want to prolong your loved one's suffering in as much as you want them here. So it's helped me kind of
Contextualize.
contextualize it and then, give him um, a more humane or human, personal, touch to how I interact with my patients. And my view on life has changed now, really. Ever since I saw my dad, being buried, it just occurred to me that what's vanity upon vanity, all is vanity. But yeah, that shouldn't stop you from still living your life and trying to make the most of what God has blessed you with and given you with. But the truth is that we live here with nothing. We came with nothing. We live here with nothing. So try to make every day count. Try to help those that you're in the position to help. Try to make a difference whenever you can. Because you ain't taking nothing with you. So enjoy life, help other people. That's my philosophy and my view in life.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, this is the final section in this segment. And would like to know if you could go back in time, is there anything you would have done differently regarding your relationship with your dad?
Um, if I could go back in time, well, knowing what I know now, yeah, I probably would, because I think, you know, my dad did the best he could. He probably raised me probably the way he was raised. You know, was pretty strict. Yeah, I know the Bible says spare the rod, spoil the child, but also says that you know in Yoruba it says ọkàn ọmọdé ni wèrè dì sí pé ṣé pàṣọ la máa fi ń nà jáde or something like that. So
This is not good for the audience. So we're saying that in the heart of a child, there's so many iniquities. But with the rod of correction, you can tease it out. I'll let you guys tease out that proverb.
so I think he you know raised us with that, but maybe as regards my performances in school, maybe a conversation would have done better. I feel like he could have achieved the same results, by telling me that, hey, you know, I know you got
Potential.
potential in you. You can do way better than this. you know, I know you can be the first next year. You know, apply yourself, do what you need to do. You know, if you do this next year, I'll probably give you this gift or something. Give me something, incentivize it, you know, and don't smack me, don't flog me, you know, because I feel like sometimes, you know, if those are done to kids, you know, it's can leave a lasting something in you that will just makes you hold back and not feel too connected to your parents. Um, so yeah, maybe that was why I was a little bit detached, you know, from him, you know, growing up. But yeah, that's probably one thing I'll fix.
And happy Father's Day, by the way.
Thank you.
Any message for Arife?
Yeah, I love her. She should stop um, giving me a hard time. She does not give you and my niece and my mom a hard time.
Because we're nice to her.
Women empowerment.
No,
Exactly.
no, no.
Women supporting women.
I think from childhood,
There was-
women have learned to give guys a hard time.
That's so sexist.
It's
She's
not
so
being
cute.
sexist. I think
Please,
it's
there's
just
no guy in
it's
her.
just the way you guys are wired.
What about you guys?
Yes, I'm not being sexist. I'm just saying the truth. She just takes me for granted. She's like, oh, it's that. Yeah, I can do whatever I want. It's
Because she
nothing.
has you wrapped around her little finger. Die! It's you just throw the kiss, you kill them, die. But listen, just give her that look like, are you for real right now? Come on, straighten up.
Mhm.
But yeah, happy Father's Day. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you.
She's growing well. Our friends were commenting on her that, my God, she's so grown. And like I said to tell you that, she even called them my sisters and she was sharing her toys and makeup.
That's
They were
good.
doing a great job raising her. I'm like, thank God. All our prayers on her.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy Father's Day, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Nice to see you in your 40s. I've known you since you were 20. Seeing you now and just, you've grown up a lot. You've become actually more fun to hang around because you were not very fun in school. You were so very studious, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've grown actually more fun than me now these days. So I'm so happy for you and thankful for your life. And yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast.
You're welcome.
Was it bad, was it?
No, it wasn't. Just send my paycheck. You know,
Things I do
this,
for you people.
you know, TDawg ain't cheap. So
Guy, who owes who more? And thank you so much, Ibuko, for your help behind the scenes.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. All right, everyone. That was a multiple podcast. We hope you like this version of the podcast. If you like it, just let us know. Catch you guys on another episode of podcast. I mean, your host, Bye for now.
peace.
Thank you.